Hello there, good evening and a warm welcome. This is RupEng-News.
Hello there, very good evening indeed. I'm Shram Mascarenhas.
And I'm Rajai Surya. We start off with a look at the headlines for tonight. President says to the second Youth Parliament to give priority to building national unity. Minister Rajitha Senaratne points out to the opposition that strike action for winning demands is an outdated method. A special program to encourage people to consume local food devoid of harmful content. British Premier says that Britain will not bow down to terrorism.
On to the stories in detail now. President Mahinda Rajapaksa told the second Youth Parliament that they should give priority for building national unity. He said that the Youth Parliament should take priority in building the coordination and reconciliation among the Sri Lankans. The President emphasized these facts addressing the maiden session of the second Youth Parliament at the National Youth Services Council Auditorium in Maharagama today. The Youth Parliament met at a special parliamentary chamber at the main auditorium of the National Youth Services Council. 412 members have been elected to the Youth Parliament from youth societies throughout the country. During the maiden session, all members took oaths together. The President also enlightened the new members about the parliamentary traditions of Sri Lanka, the codes of ethics and the importance of Youth Parliament. A 3-day workshop for the new members was held in Thulhiriyya. The President said that it was because of the trust and confidence he pledged on the youth of this country that the state leader, the freedom and the peace has been enjoyed today. He said that under the present government, the youth are being considered as a valuable resource of the country. More than 1/4 of Sri Lanka population are youths. The President said that all countries that achieve development processed a youth generation such as ours. He said that Sri Lanka can think about the future positively because of the youth resource we have. The President said that during the year 1970, during the month of May, that he too got selected to Parliament. He said that whether it is for Parliament or any other institution, the people entering should get their characters built at a young age itself. The President said that a leader is not the one who controls other people. It is the person who controls himself and he is the ruler. It is only a person who can control himself can control others as well. The President pointed out that politics is being utilized for elections today. However, the elections should be utilized for politics. The President emphasized that the strongest objective of the Youth Parliament members should be the building up of the national unity. The President said that they should never forget the important matter.
ඔබේ අරමුණ අතර ප්‍රමුඛමතා අරමුණ විය යුත්තේ ජාතික සමගිය ගොඩනැගීම බව කිසි මොහොතකවත් අමතක කරන්න එපා මන්ත්‍රීතුමනි.
The members of the Youth Parliament presented a special memorabilia to the President. The website of the youth session of the Commonwealth was also launched today. Ministers Dalasala Peruma, Gamini Lokugay, Jagat Pushpakumara, Duminda Disanayaka and several parliamentarians, the chairman of the Youth Services Council, attorney at law Lalit Pium Pereira and Sri Lanka youth officials also attended the function.
In the meantime, Minister Dr. Rajitha Senaratne said that holding strike action for winning demands is an outdated mechanism. In the global development process, problems are solved through discussion and agreement. However, the Janata Vimukti Peramuna and the United National Party have not understood yet this modern situation. The minister made these comments at a media conference held at the Mahaveli Centre Auditorium today. Minister Dr. Rajitha Senaratne said that Mr. Ranil Wickremesinghe is attempting to topple the government through the television. Persons such as Lal Kantha holding strikes through the digital and print media. The minister said that taking such decisions will only weaken the trade unions and will not become successful. He said that Mr. Lal Kantha even threatened the working masses. The minister said that although the Janata Vimukti Peramuna made these threats, it does not have the necessary mechanism to carry them out. He said the working masses do not take to the streets in fear of these threats in the 21st century.
මේක 21 වෙනි සතවර්ෂය.
Minister C.B. Ratnayake said that 100% of the transport services was operated despite the threats. The minister said that he is sincerely thankful to the private bus owners and the private bus crew and the employees at the SLTB and railways for carrying out their work as usual without heeding the call to strike.
Well, this year's State Vesak Festival will be held at Yudaganava in Monaragala. Sri Lanka RupEng Corporation will bring the Vesak Poet Day programs from Yudaganava Rajama Viharya. The SLRC is the media sponsor for the 6 Vesak zones countrywide, including the Wellassa Vesak zone. The Puja Vesak zone, organized by the Devala Mount Lavenia Municipal Council for the 6th occasion, will be held this year as well with the sponsorship of Dhanasiri Amaratunga Foundation. The Vesak zone is to be conducted at the Devala Public Stadium and the Municipal Council area. A replica of the Sripada for a height of 70 feet is also in this Vesak zone. Another Vesak zone will be held in the Avanauya area. It has been organized on the directions of the Venerable L. Gunavansathero and with the coordination of the Ministry of Defence and Urban Council. It will be held from the 24th to the 28th of this month. A cycle procession of 500 children carrying flowers will also be held. The Avana Vesak zone will be held centering Palavatta, Palam 3 Junction and the Lakviru Sevana areas. The Balda Loka Vesak zone, organized for the 12th time in succession by the All Island Buddhist Congress, will be held from tomorrow until the 27th of this month. Lantern displays, Vesak dancers and Bhaktagi recitals as well as the cultural pageants will be held in this Vesak zone. The Central Province Vesak Zone will be held at Tanyakumura Junction up to Digana Town in Kundasala Electorate. It is organized by the Ministry of Mass Media and Information, the Central Province Chief Minister's Office and the Provincial Council. The Vesak Zone is being held on the directions of Minister Kelly Rambukwala and the Chief Minister Sarath Ekanaika. The Gampala Vesak Zone, jointly organized by the Prime Minister's Office and the Ministry of Buddha Sasana and Religious Affairs, will be held for the first time from the 24th to the 28th of this month. An exposition of sacred hair relic will also be held at this Vesak Zone. It has been organized on the directions of Prime Minister D.M. Jayaratna.
On a similar note, giving of alms, observing of sale and meditation programs are being organized in connection with the Vesak festival. Several pandals have been erected in the city of Colombo, giving priority to Amisa pujas similar to theoretical pujas. And here is a report by our correspondent Gamini Bandara Manikitivela in this connection. The Traders Association of Manning's Market in Colombo here erected a pandal. This is being erected for the 51st year, and the pandal will be open to the public from tomorrow until the 30th of this month. The subject matter of the pandal erected at Kottawa Traders Association is Mahakanna Jataka. The pandal has been erected for the 16th year. The Maragama Traders Association has erected a pandal depicting the story related to the Revata Jataka in front of the Horana bus halt. This is the 10th year for the pandal. The Papiliana Junction pandal has also been erected for the 8th consecutive time. Dr. Harsha Vidhan has erected a pandal for the 29th year, and it is located at Kalubovila de Silva, Mavata. It depicts the Kosala Jataka. The Kirlapana Traders Association has erected a pandal at the Kirlapana Junction. It depicts a story of Vidura Jataka. A display of lanterns will be held this year as well, organized by the Venerable Vatinapa Somanandathero, the Engineering Battalion of the Army and the Civil Defence Force. Lanterns depicting the Baka Jataka story and will be open for the public from tomorrow until the 28th of this month. This lantern display will be held at the Sri Vajrasrama Buddhist Center in Punchiborella.
Well, on the same note, almsgiving, seal observations and meditation programs have been organized throughout the country in connection with the 2,557 triple events of Lord Buddha. Our correspondents informed that in addition to the several social service programs have also been organized on village levels. Seal observation programs will be organized in all schools during the Vesak week. The President met the students of several such schools today. The President, along with the Minister of Education, Bandula Gunawardana, visited St. Paul's Girls' School, Lumbini Vidyalaya and Sirimao Bandanayaka Vidyalaya today and also participated in religious rites being held in these schools. A program of distributing stickers with Buddhist messages and Buddhist flags for three-wheelers organized by the police department was held today. 500 three-wheelers participated in the program. This program was held at Dharmayatana in the Bauddha Lokamavata under the Anusasana of the Venerable L.A. Gunawansa Thero. Well, a function was held at the police headquarters in Colombo to present wheelchairs and clutches to the disabled police officers. The Inspector General of Police, N.K. Ilankakon, also attended the function. Minister Mervyn Silva presented the Chudamanikya to be adorned at the pinnacle of the main Thalaya Chaitya to Professor Venerable Kullupitiya Mahinda Sangha Rakkita Nayakathera. The Chudamanikya will be presented to the Venerable Walaha Hen Gunavave Dharmaratana Nayakathera at Temple Trees tomorrow. The series of Vesak programs of Carlton Preschool Group were held yesterday and today under the leadership of the First Lady Madam Shiranti Wickramasinghe Rajapaksa. Dhamma sermons were organized centering Carlton Preschool of the Maligawata and Mount Lavinia. Children's dances were also held at these functions.
Welcome back, and we continue with news here at home. President Mahinda Rajapaksa made an emergency inspection tour of the Sri Lanka RupEng Corporation today. The President declared open the chamber of the Lord Buddha at the corporation. The new chamber of the Lord Buddha was constructed in connection with the 30th anniversary of the Sri Lanka RupEng Corporation. The President was received on arrival at the corporation by the Chairman of the corporation, Mohan Samranayaka. The President also inspected the special program editing unit of the corporation. He also inquired about the renovation activities of the corporation as well. The Chief Executive Officer of the corporation, Gamini Rasaputra, enlightened the President on this matter. The President also held cordial discussions with the staff of the corporation. The government in the meantime has decided to impose stern rules for import of potatoes and big onions. This decision has been taken to protect the local farmers. The import of potatoes will be curtailed from the next year. Minister Mahinda Ababewardena said that it has been decided only to issue permits for import of potatoes during the Maha season, as potatoes are being cultivated locally during the Yala season only. These permits will be issued only to traders who purchase the locally produced potatoes from the farmers. The production cost of a kilo of potatoes amounts to about 60 rupees. The minister said that the production of seed potatoes will be enhanced to minimize the production cost, and he said the government has also taken action to protect the local big onion farmers. Permits for the import of big onions will be issued based on the quantity of locally produced onions purchased. The minister also said that the government expected to fulfill the requirement through local production next year. Minister of Agriculture Mahinda Ababewardena said that many problems are created by attempting to import in an ad hoc manner. He said that they not only import potatoes but along with that get down other items of discrete businesses as well. The minister said that these importers cover their cost and earn huge incomes through these imports. It is also the same in respect of onion imports, and discrete trade activities are also being carried out through onion imports as well. He said when permits are issued, the real importers can be identified.
Well, a program has been launched to popularize agricultural products cultivated without using chemical products. The program is jointly implemented by the Minister of Defence, Urban Development and the Indigenous Medicine. The inaugural function of this project was held at Devanna Gardens in Battaramulla today. The program will be carried out throughout the country along with the API Vavamu Ratanagamu program, or rather Api Vavamu Ratanagamu program. A herbal seed bank, a medicinal house and a cultivation area is included in the Devanna cultivation block in Battaramulla. The Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa, as the chief guest of this function, said that this project will be carried out as an exemplary development project of the ancient paddy cultivation mechanism. He said under this project, the people of the area will be given 80 purchase of land for carrying out cultivation activities. The public will be enlightened how the multinational companies introduced the new gene technology to Sri Lanka and destroyed the traditional cultivation methods. The Minister of Indigenous Medicine, Salinda Dissanayake, also participated in this function. Excavations carried out in the Kurunegala Caves complex has revealed that the Balangoda man held connection with his relatives who lived in the coastal open areas. The Deputy Director General of the Archaeology, Dr. Nimal Pereira, said that the Balangoda man has migrated through the Walaway Ganga, has held connections with his relatives who lived in the open settlement areas of Ammalantota. Parts of 2 skeletons discovered from the archaeological excavations carried out in the Kurunegala Caves complex are suspected to be belonging to the group of the Balangoda men. The parts of the second skeleton has been discovered from a place deeper than the parts of the first skeleton that was discovered. Accordingly, it is believed that the second skeleton could be more ancient than the first one. The excavators have also found many fossils belonging to sea turtles and sea crabs from the place they were discovered, which is the second skeleton. They have also discovered bones of sharks and a part of a skeleton belonging to a fox. In addition to this, they have also discovered several necklaces made with seashells. Mr. Jude Pereira of the Archaeological Department, who is a specialist on animal parts, have identified these items. Dr. Nimal Pereira said that this is the first time the parts of sea animals had been found in excavations carried out in Sri Lanka. Archaeology specialists informed that these discoveries are valuable evidence to confirm that the Balangoda man emigrated to the coastal areas. The artifacts discovered from excavations will be forwarded to the overseas laboratories. It has been decided to carry out excavations in the Kurunegala Caves complex until the final sand layer.
In the meantime, the anti-smoking flag day of the Samruddhi program held in line with the International Anti-Smoking Day has begun. The first flag of the program was pinned on to the President, Mahinda Rajapaksa, at Temple Trees today. The Anti-Smoking Flag Day of the Samruddhi Authority is being implemented in line with the International Anti-Smoking Day, which is being held since 1966. The theme of this year's Flag Day, which is being held for the 18th year, is People Devoid of Intoxication and the Globe through Divinagama. The program will be implemented throughout the country from the 31st of this month until the 10th of June. The collection of funds made by the sale of flags will be used for construction of houses, war heroes and destitute families, to provide equipment for disabled persons, to offer scholarships to students of low-income families, and for similar social welfare activities. The activities will also include conducting various educational programs of members of children's societies. At this function, the President presented gifts to the children who became first in the Children's Innovation Contest. The Director General of the Samruddhi Authority, Attorney at Law, Bandula Tilaksiri, said the Deputy Director S.A.N. Wickramasinghe also attended the function.
In other stories, an international economic report points out that Sri Lanka, in its improvement of infrastructure facilities and urban development, is in an equal footing with China and Malaysia. The global survey report of the HSBC points out that compared to other countries of the region, Sri Lanka has achieved a rapid economic development since the year 2007. The Hong Kong Shanghai Bank annually publishes a report based on a survey it carries out on the economic activities of the countries of the Asian region. The report covers activities related to infrastructure development and urban development and new developments in the economy. The report points out that because of the development projects being implemented in Sri Lanka, Recently, it is becoming a transport hub in Asia. The HSBC report also states that due to positive results on oil exploration activities, Sri Lanka will achieve a new economic development in the future. The report issued by the Indian company Crane about its exploration activities in the Manna Basin has drawn the attention of leading oil-producing countries in the world. The oil companies such as Total and ExxonMobil have purchased the geodata reports relating to oil exploration activities of Sri Lanka. The HSBC report also points out that British Petroleum, ENI and OVL oil companies have also inquired about the oil exploration activities of Sri Lanka.
In the meantime, the most senior member of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party and the veteran politician Dayati Pasquale passed away at the age of 102 years. His funeral will be held at the Matugama Public Grounds on Saturday evening. The Sri Lanka Freedom Party, in a condolence message on the late Mr. Pasquale's death, states that it was a respectable public servant and a politician of the highest caliber. The condolence message, issued under the signature of the General Secretary of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, Minister Maithripala Sirisena, states that late Mr. Daya Pasquale, who loved the Sri Lanka Freedom Party very much, was the most senior politician who dedicated to safeguard the respect of the party. The late Mr. Pasquale represented the Matugam electorate in the parliament for 21 years continuously from 1956 to 1977. He has served as a Deputy Minister of the Ministries of Finance, Local Government, Housing and Trade. President Mahinda Rajapaksa, as the President of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, and all party members expressed their condolence on the death of Mr. Dayati Pasquale.
The French naval ship Jacques Cartier arrived at the port of Colombo yesterday on a good visit to the Sri Lanka Navy in accordance with the naval traditions which welcomed a French naval ship arrived today at the port of Colombo on a goodwill visit. The 80-meter-long Jacques Cartier, carrying 56 naval personnel on board, is a landing ship tank with a displacement of 1,330 tons. The ship commissioned in September 1983 and is to be removed from service during the year July 2013. The commanding officer of the French ship, Lieutenant Commander Amari Mori de Bailing, paid a courtesy call on Commander Western Naval Area Rear Admiral Sirimevan Ranasinghe at the Western Naval Command headquarters in Colombo and held cordial discussions. They have exchanged mementos as a gesture of goodwill. The visiting French ship will stay in Sri Lanka until the 26th of May, and during their stay, the ship's crew will participate in a special program organized by the Sri Lanka Navy.
In the meantime, the Chinese government has decided to provide $580 million assistance for infrastructure development activities of Sri Lanka. The funds will be provided by the Chinese Development Bank. The details of the Chinese development loan assistance to Sri Lanka was announced yesterday. $300 million have been allocated for road development, $200 million have been allocated for water supplies, and funds have also been allocated for the re-establishment of National Business School. The Chinese Development Bank has so far provided $650 million for road development and $210 million for water supply activities. The Southern Railway line will be extended up to Hambantota Harbour. The China Export-Import Bank agreed to the month of March to provide $278 million for this project. China in the recent years has provided more than $1,400 million as loan assistance for Sri Lanka.
The Turkish ambassador in Sri Lanka, Mr. Iskan Kokay, has held discussions with the Eastern Province Minister Hafiz Nazir Ahmed in Colombo recently. At this meeting, the Eastern Province Minister has requested the Turkish ambassador to focus attention on developing the Eastern Province. He has emphasized that the Eastern Province requires assistance in the fields of agriculture, tourism and livestock development. The meeting has also focused attention on establishing a Turkey-Sri Lanka Friendship Association. The Turkish ambassador has promised to provide assistance for the development of the Eastern Province.
The revision of the 2013 voters list has begun. The Elections Department said that the program began on the 15th of May and will be carried out until the 15th of July. It is compulsory that the voters should get their names included in the voters list on an annual basis. In this connection, they should fill the relevant BC forms and hand it over annually, and by registering for 1 year, a voter will not be automatically registered in the following years. The relevant forms will be delivered to the head of households, and the duly completed forms will be accepted until the 1st of July. The Elections Department informed that all those who complete 18 years of age on the 1st of June should include their names in the form as is stipulated in the National Identity Card or in the birth certificate, and in sequence with the head of the household. If any of the house have not received the relevant BC forms by the 15th of July, they should inquire about it from the Government Nedari of the area or from the District Election Office. Well, that's it from local news. International news is coming up next. And as promised, it's time for international news now. Both suspects in the killing of a serving soldier in London were known to security services, senior Whitehall sources have confirmed. One of the suspects is understood to be 28 years old and Muslim convert Michael Adebolayo, according to sources. He and another man are under arrest in hospital after being shot by police after Wednesday's attack on Woolwich. Prime Minister David Cameron has said the UK will never give in to terror or terrorism. Shortly after the killing of a man thought to be Mr. Adelaide was filmed by a passerby saying he carried out the attack because British soldiers killed Muslims every day. Sources said reports the man had featured in several investigations in recent years but were not deemed to be planning an attack, but not inaccurate.
Well, here's more foreign news in brief.
यहाँ पे रैपिड रिस्पांस ग्रुप बना रखते हैं, उन्होंने एक फोर्स यहाँ पे तैनात की हुई इनकी यहाँ पे ड्यूटियां हैं, गश्त पे होते हैं। ये जो गाड़ी थी ये गाड़ी भी जा रही थी, ड्यूटियां चेंज हो रही थी, तमाम जो एहलकार थे मुख्तलिफ इलाकों से उनको उठा के जा रहे थे। और रोड है मस्जिद के बाईपास पर गुफा मंडी के करीब यहाँ रिमोट कंट्रोल रूम के जरिए
There was no immediate claim of responsibility for the bomb in the city of Quetta. The Friends of Syria alliance called on Iran and its Lebanese Hezbollah ally to withdraw fighters immediately from Syrian territory and described their armed presence in the country as a threat to regional stability. The alliance said it will further increase support for the opposition and take all other steps as necessary until a planned peace conference backed by Russia and the United States produces a transitional government. Indian Prime Minister Manmohan Singh said that defence and security are a fundamental obligation of the government to their people and an essential prerequisite for their national, social and economic transformation. Singh also said that with an aim to protect their borders, their land forces have been significantly enhanced. The United Nations and World Bank chiefs visited Kinshasa yesterday for the first of a three-day visit to Africa's Great Lakes region. During the visit, the World Bank pledged $1 billion to fund area development in return for peace, but fighting in eastern Congo underscored the challenge of stabilizing the mineral-rich area.
And I have urged the President.
And it's time for a look at some entertainment stories in brief.
The winners of the Bellanoy Della Dance Award, known as the Oscar of Ballet, were announced in an award ceremony in Moscow's Bolshoi Ballet Theatre. Chosen by a jury of dance professionals from Russia, Poland, Germany, the UK, Denmark and the US, prizes for choreography, dance and the life in art were awarded. The jury awarded the Best Ballerina prize Olga Smirnova from the Bolshoi Theatre Troupe and gave the Best Male Dancer prize to Alban Lendorf from the Royal Danish Ballet and Vadim Mutagirov from the English National Ballet. An 80-year-old Japanese mountain climber who had 4 heart surgeries reached the top of Mount Everest yesterday, becoming the oldest person to conquer the world's highest mountain. Yujiro Miura, who took the standard southeast ridge route pioneered by Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzin Norgay 60 years ago, reached the top of the 8,848-meter mountain at roughly 0900 local time. Singer-songwriter Carole King received an All-Star salute yesterday night at the White House, where she was honored with the Gershwin Prize for Popular Song. U.S. President Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama were there to see her receive her award. King is the first woman ever to receive the Gershwin Prize.
Wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again.
Cast and crew of Ship of Theseus promoted their film in entertainment capital Mumbai yesterday after receiving critical acclaim at the Toronto Film Festival. Before being released in India, the film has gone through many international film festivals and has also received critical acclaim. Last year, it was also premiered at the 2012 Toronto Film Festival. Ship of Theseus stimulates the human senses aesthetically and intellectually. Very good evening to you. I'm Sharifa Tahir with the latest on sports. In the annual rugby tournament held yesterday, DSN Anaika College defeated the Mahanama College Colombo. The tournament was held for the 7th time at the CRNFC grounds. The matches were held under 4 categories covering the age group of under 10, under 12, under 14 and under 16. The big match was held between the under 20 age group. The Mahanama team scored 17 points in the first half, and in the second half they were able to get only 1 try. The DSN Anaika College, which scored 12 points in the first half, increased their scores to 26 points at the end of the game. Accordingly, the DSN Anaika College won the match by 26-22.
Well, with sports news, we wrap up today's bulletin of RupEng News. Thanks a lot for watching us. Good night.
Good night.